Hello, my name is Vicky. I'm a math tutor here at Lehigh Carbon Community College. A concept I've seen many students struggle with is rounding. So today I'm going to spend a little time and talk to you today about rounding. We're going to talk about what rounding is. We're going to go over a little bit about place values. We're going to walk through some examples, including whole numbers and decimal numbers. And finally, at the end, we're going to cover front-end rounding. All right, so when a problem is asking you to round, it's essentially asking you this question. What is this number closest to? So when you're rounding a number, you're estimating it to another number. You're saying, oh, this number is close to this number. It's about this. It's around this. Hence, rounding. And you answer this question based on the information it gives you in the problem. For example, it'll say, round this number to the tens place or the hundredths place. So you're estimating this number. You're saying this number is around this. It's close to this number based on the information it gives you in the problem. And that may change your answer. That will change what number you're rounding to. So let's talk a little bit about place values before we jump right into rounding. A place value is the name for the position of a digit within a number. So for this example that I have here, a long number, when you're counting place values, you always start with the number on the right, the rightmost number, the rightmost digit. So that starts with 9 here. 9 is in the ones place. The following number, 8, is in the tens place. 7 is in the hundreds place, and so on as I have labeled here. I've labeled these based on different colors so you can see the pattern that's going on between these digits here. We have ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, then millions, 10 millions, 100 millions. So you can see that they are kind of labeled in groups of 3, where we go from ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds, ones, tens, hundreds, and so on. The only thing that kind of changes is the unit between each group of 3. And a good way to remember it is that each group of 3 is separated by a comma. So a comma separates each unit that you say. These are the hundreds up until first comma. Then we go into the thousands up until this comma. Then these guys are the millions. And then you'd go into the billions and trillions and so on. Here's a long decimal number. The point, if you see a point in any number, that point is called the decimal. Now, any number to the left of a decimal, you label using this chart above. Those are your whole numbers, which is why I have the 1 here labeled as tens and the 0 labeled as ones. The place values don't change. It's the label of the position of the digit within the number. Going forward, down the number to the right, you can see that our labeling still takes place, except we're kind of going in reverse. First position next to the decimal is the tenths. Next one over, hundreds. Then we start over again. Thousands, 10,000s, 100,000s, millions, and so on and so forth. The unit of every place value after the decimal has a THS on the end. That's how you know whether it's talking about a decimal place value or a whole number place value. So these place values are super important to know for when you're rounding, because those place values are going to determine which number you round to. Let's try it out in some examples. Here's our first example. Round 415 to the nearest 10. So the nearest 10 here is going to tell us what place value we are rounding our number to. So I'll rewrite our number out here for 15. Now we're rounding to the nearest 10. So our first step, and I'll write the steps down. Our first step is to find the place value that we're rounding to. In this case, it's the tens. That's what our problem told us. It's the tens place. So which digit is in the tens place? As I said, start on the right, starts with ones. Ones, tens. This number here, I'm going to underline it in red, is the number that we're rounding. All right, so we found that. What's our next step? Next step is we're going to look at the digit to the right, to the immediate right of the place value that we're rounding to in step 1. So look to this guy immediately to the right. I'm going to circle him in blue. Immediately to the right. Now, there's a rule. We're going to look at this guy and we're going to ask ourselves a question. Is this number 4 or below, or is it 5 or above? So is it 4 or less? Is it 0, 1, 2, 3, 4? Or is it 5 or above? Is it 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? If it's 4 or below, you let it go, which means we're not going to change our underlying digit. If it's 5 or above, we give it a shove. It's 4 below, let it go. 5 above, give it a shove. All right, so this circled digit here is going to tell us what we do with this. It's going to tell us what we're going to do to the underlined number. If the circled digit is 4 or below, we're going to leave our underlined digit the same. We're not going to change it. If the circled digit is 5 or above, it's going to get bumped up 1. So here, 5 falls into the category 5 or above. So that means the underlined digit, that's the one that we're evaluating. That's the one we're going to change. This is going to get rounded to this 1, because of the 5, is going to get rounded up to 2. Our final step is to add a 0 onto any remaining places. So because we had a place value here next to the 1, we add a 0 onto any remaining place values. So that's our step 4. Change all places, or how about digits? Change all digits to the right to 0. So rounding 415 to the nearest 10, we found nearest 10. We underlined the place value that we're evaluating. Look at the number to the right. Is it bigger than 5, or is it's 5 or above, or is it smaller? Is it 4 or below? It's 4 or below. we let it go. If it's 5 or above, we give it a shove. 5 makes the 1 round up a spot to 2. So 420 is our final answer. Let's try this again with 414 instead of 415 to see how this rule in number 3 works. All right, round 414 to the nearest 10. I'm going to circle this, our nearest 10. That's the place value we're looking at. That's this place value right here, 414. 414, that's our place value. Look at the digit to the right, this guy right here. He's going to tell us what to do. 4 below, let it go. So instead of rounding the underlined digit up to 2, he's going to stay the same. He's not going to go up. So he's going to stay at 1, and then step 4, change all digits to the right to 0. 410. So 415, we rounded to the nearest 10, it became 420. 414, rounded to the nearest 10, became 410. Let's try another one. Round 3,981 to the nearest 1,000. Nearest 1,000. Thousands are place value. Well, I see a comma here, so I know that the 3 is going to be my thousands place. I'm going to look to the digit immediately to the right, the 9. What does the 9 tell me to do to the 3? 4 below, let it go. 5 or above, give it a shove. 5 or above, 9 is definitely 5 or above. So that tells me we're going to bump the 3 up to a 4. And everything to the right becomes zeros. So 3,981 to the nearest 1,000 is 4,000. Now let's round 3,981 to the nearest 100. Same process. Hundreds. Find the hundreds place first. Ones, tens, hundreds. Circle the guy to the right. 5 or above, give it a shove. 8 is definitely 5 or above. So we're going to have to round the 9 up to the next digit. But the next digit up from 9 is 10. So instead of just moving up the 9 to the next spot, what we're going to do is, well, the 9 will get rounded up to 10. So what that means is this guy's going to become 0. The 9 is going to become a 0. And you're going to add a 1 because it's like 10, right? The 9 is moving up to 10. So the 3, you're going to add a 1 from the 9 bouncing up to 10. And that's going to become 4,000. And then knock all these down to 0. I'll do a similar problem here. Another example, because that can be tricky. So how about we round 4,095 to the nearest 10. 10 is the place we're evaluating. This is our tens place. number directly to the right. Five or above, give it a shove. 9's going to get bounced up to 10. So the 9 is going to get bounced up to 10. Add a +1 to the next place over. This is going to be 4,100. Knock out everything to the right of the place value, the zeros. Let's do some decimal examples. We're rounding this guy to the nearest hundredth. Hundredth, here, the TH there, tells me that that's a decimal place that I'm rounding to. This is the tens. This is the tenths, sorry. Hundredths here. So this is the place we're evaluating to. Doing this for decimals is the exact same as doing it for whole numbers. Same process. Underline the place value you're evaluating to. Look at the number to the right. 4 or below, let it go. 5 or above, give it a shove. 4 or below, 2 is in that category, so the 7's going to stay the same. Now when you have a decimal, you can drop that 0 that's on the right. If it's a trailing 0 that's on the right, there's no other numbers after it, you can drop it and just say that's 57 hundredths. Now let's round this decimal to the nearest whole number. So rather than give us a place value, this just asks us to round it to the nearest whole number. The nearest whole number would be the first number to the left of the decimal, this place right here. That would give you a whole number. So we're going to look at this guy here. It's 5 or above. Give it a shove. This is going to round, the 0 is going to round up to 1. And then everything left to zeros. But this you can just write as 1. Let's conclude with a final example of front-end rounding. Front-end rounding works exactly the same way as regular rounding, except you always round to the decimal place on the very left of your number. So for front-end rounding, you're always going to round this guy right here, the front of the number. I'll do that in red there. Always going to round the front number there. Again, front-end rounding works the same as regular rounding. Number to the right, 5 or above. We're going to give that guy a shove. 5's going to bump up to 6. Everything to the right becomes zeros. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you have a great semester.